Ladies and gents, the situation at Sporting Lisbon is getting feisty. There is a clear dispute between Viktor Gyökeres and Sporting Lisbon for the transfer of Viktor Gyökeres. There, for whatever reason, has been a disagreement. There was a gentleman's agreement between Gyökeres and the previous Sporting director of football. He has now joined Manchester City. A new director of football has come in. There's various words been said over social media, over Twitter, over Instagram. He's put an Instagram story up saying the truth will come out soon. Sporting responded. There's even reports coming out that Gyökeres could go on strike, and he's saying he will never play for Sporting Lisbon under this current regime. You've also got Arsenal have agreed personal terms with Mosquera, the Spanish young centre-back. It's all happening. Kepa has been done and dusted. The new centre-back probably will be signing in the next few days. Zubimendi. The next situation that Arsenal have to address and have to solve is the left wing position and the striker. Now, Rodrigo is a massive target for Arsenal and could be leaving Real Madrid. Yet again, 2 games on the bench for Real Madrid. I think there's more to the situation than is actually being reported. You know, Real Madrid will be playing, I think, on Tuesday night against Juventus, which will be a clear indicator to see again if Rodrigo is part of Xabi Alonso's plans. I said this the other day about Liverpool, and I'm going to say this about Arsenal. I think July is going to be the busiest month out of the summer transfer window for them. Their pre-season will be starting. The transfers will be flowing. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts. That would be greatly appreciated. We are absolutely steamrolling our way to 60,000 subs, guys. We just had a look. We're just under 1,400 away. If you haven't already, please go down and hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts down below. That would be absolutely fantastic. Now, I want to start off with Fabrizio Romano's quote from the Sporting president with regards to Viktor Gyökeres. Now, this situation is going to get out of hand if it's not resolved quickly. Look at this quote from from Varandas, yeah, on Viktor Gyökeres. I'm not going to say what the price is. The player knows what it is. I can tell you that Viktor won't leave for 60 million plus 10 million euro. He won't. He just won't. Look, you got to look at this from Sporting Lisbon's perspective. They've got a player who wants to leave. They've got a player who is heavily linked with a move away to Arsenal, to Manchester United. I honestly think that I'd be amazed if we ever see this guy ever play again in a Sporting Lisbon shirt. I don't think it will happen. His future is going to be an Arsenal shirt, Man United shirt, Bayern Munich shirt, Liverpool shirt. Who knows what his future is going to be? I still think Arsenal are going to be ones to kind of twist the screw a bit. But with regards to Gyökeres, this situation, there is no love there whatsoever. He said previously that on an Instagram story, the truth will come out. Now he's saying, I've never seen a sporting director have this big of a dispute with a player to the point of where, you know, Fab's coming out saying he's not leaving for this price. He's absolutely not. Sporting might not be in a position where they have much of a choice. If Viktor Gyökeres forces a move, and it looks like his agent is leaking a lot of stuff to the press, if this carries on, it would not surprise me. It really would not surprise me if by mid-July, Viktor Gyökeres is completely on strike, not going to play during their pre-season games, not really interested in what's happening with regards to Sporting Lisbon. You know, they've got a game on the 16th of July against Celtic, which is going to be very interesting to see what happens there. I don't think he will be involved in that game. As you can see here, there is 11 a.m. The friendly will be taking place. 16th of July. I don't think he'll be involved. I think by then his future would have already been resolved. But is it going to be Arsenal? Is it going to be someone else? We know Arsenal are heavily linked with Sesko and heavily linked with Gyökeres. We're hearing different reports from different people. Romano said that Gyökeres really is pushing for a move to Arsenal. Ben Jacobs, Sami Mokbel, Florian Plettenberg, who are all very credible journalists as well. have also said that concrete talks have taken place between Arsenal and Benjamin Sesko. So it's only a matter of time before we find out who and what striker they're actually going to choose with. But Fabrizio Romano has done an absolute bomber yet again, coming out and saying Arsenal have reached full agreement on personal terms with Christian Mosquera. New proposal set to be submitted after an open bid where 14 million euros got rejected by Valencia. Arsenal are hoping to get the deal done in a fee in excess of 20 million euros. Talks are underway. That is roughly about 20 million euros. I'd imagine it's about 17 million pounds. A centre-back that was wanted and had an agreement in place with personal terms with RB Leipzig. Bayer Leverkusen have been heavily looking at this guy, as well as Bayern Munich. He's a wanted man out in Germany. So everyone that's completely losing their minds, these Arsenal fans that are saying, oh, you know, we need to go and get the big players. We need to go and get the big players. I completely understand your frustration, but Christian Mosquera is wanted by a number of clubs, you know, and he was on Real Madrid's radar. You know, this is a guy that's been, as you can see, the Madrid zone, just in Real Madrid off monitoring the following players closely. Nick Waltermold, Christian Mosquera, Calistello Lukba, and Nies Schmidt. So look, he's wanted by a number of clubs. Florian Plettenberg did say that there was a number of German clubs highly interested in his services. I think it's going to be a very, very, very good signing for Arsenal. And you've also got to remember, the guy is coming in as a 20-year-old. He's not coming in, you know, to bully, I was about to say Van Dijk, to bully Saliba or Gabriel out of their position. He's coming in, he's going to heavily improve their squad depth at centre-back, because we know, you think back to last season when Gabriel got injured, you know, fair play, Kivior come in and did a really, really good job, but they need someone else. And that someone else is probably going to be Christian Mosquera. Personal terms have been agreed. It's a matter of time before we see, you know, here we go. Florian Plettenberg said this only a couple of days ago. Despite a verbal agreement with Leipzig, you know, the club is stepping back, and look at the teams interested. Leverkusen and Bayern are also keeping an eye, plus Real Madrid. So this kid is going to be talented. With regards to the Rodrigo situation, that is another player that Arsenal are heavily looking at. You know, his future is very much up in the air when you look at his situation. You know, with regards to first team football at Real Madrid, AFTV have said, are you willing to wait until the very last moment of the window for Rodrigo or make a move someone else? The Athletic have said Arsenal can offer Rodrigo a project where he can feel at ease and play on the left, but Arsenal cannot afford to wait indefinitely. And the situation is, you got Eberechi Eze. Sorry, it's 1,000,000 degrees in this room. Eberechi Eze has reportedly agreed personal terms with Arsenal. But, you know, whoever's written this tweet at AFTV, they are absolutely right, because they aren't in a position where they can afford to wait. You know, the Asian tour for Arsenal will be starting in a couple of weeks' time, 3 weeks or so, where they will be playing Milan, Newcastle United, and Tottenham. It's a very, very busy Asian tour for them. They need to get the players ready and on the plane for Singapore. I genuinely think July is going to be absolutely massive with regards to Arsenal Football Club as well as Liverpool Football Club. You know, July is a bit of a madness right now. There's players doing this, players doing that. You know, you look at Arsenal have apparently agreed terms of Eze. I still think Tottenham are going to be the team to go in and get Eberechi Eze. Rodrigo there is available. Now, why July is so significant is Real Madrid. You know, when you look at the Club World Cup, they will be playing again on Tuesday against Juventus, which will be a last 16 fixture. If they get knocked out, that will be the end of their Club World Cup. Rodrigo can then have his sit-down meeting with Xabi Alonso and find out what's going to be happening throughout the future of his career. I do think, though, Real Madrid will get past Juventus. I think they're one of the favourites to win the tournament. It also wouldn't surprise me if Manchester City, you know, win it as well. You look at PSG, they're playing really, really well. They play today. So the Club World Cup is going to be a fascinating tournament to watch with regards to Rodrigo's future. How far will Real Madrid go? Will he get another trophy in his cabinet? Who knows? But the transfer window is heating up. You've seen Chelsea, a couple of deals done in the last few days with regards to them going out and getting, you know, they've already got Delap over the line, Gittins, here we go, and now João Pedro. You know, Man City have already got 3 signings. Liverpool have already got 3 signings. Tottenham and Arsenal are going to battle for Eze. It's going to be massive July. So make sure you go down and subscribe, drop a like, and I'll see you soon.